Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I review the latest movies and documentaries. Today, I'm going to talk about the Continental from the world of John Wick movie. If you're interested in this topic, make sure to watch this video until the end, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. The story is about two brothers who lived in New York, but the city took away everything from the film's family, which they want to save from this city. At a young age, these two brothers thought of doing something big. They had the idea of destroying this city and how to conquer sources and intelligence. Using it, they make a bomb with a bottle. Frank, this sleepy older brother, sets fire to it, and Winston throws it into a building. Without thinking of this, many people thought of the waste of the lion. This thought did not come to their day. People will die here. 10 things were guessed when after more than 100 people died in the building, they were taken into custody by the police, that how big a crime was committed by it. He was crying. Frank tells him not to cry, my brother. If the police ask him to say bomb, Frank throws the story many years after the scene. What happened to Frank was not told then, but now it is being shown that he has grown up and lives in Hotel Continental. Go and don't go to the owner. The elder Stone of these two brothers left them and went to London and lived. He was very right and had made a lot of money in London by selling his. Even at this time, he was selling his business idea sitting in the transaction gate of a single hotel between big builders. When intentions on the other hand were dangerous today. New Year celebrations are taking place today inside Hotel Continental. Just below the Hotel Continental is a railway track from where Frankie is with his partner in the third floor of Bottle Gate, where a locker was kept, and had been planning to steal from here for years. New Year was going on just above this floor. Tying the locker with a rope, he throws it on the other side of the rope into the railway line. As soon as the train passes there, the lock gets stuck in the train and force you and his partner want to go inside the locker. There was a lot of money here, but Frankie does not touch a single penny. Frankie had come here to steal a secret box before Frankie picked up the box. At the same time, he donates a gun to the one who is watching this shoots him. While dying, the bullet is fired from the hand of this killer. The bullets that hit the people partying above. The people of Karmic High had also arrived by the noise of gunfire. Before he can catch hold of Frank, Frank tries to escape. In Con, what men also try to stop him by firing bullets on him, but everything is not working. He came down to give his famous girlfriend, with whom he sits and escapes from here. He also worked for Sankey, dodging thousands of men. Cormac had raised him to the pal post, yet Frankie betrayed him by stealing his precious possession. We are shown to Winston, who when he picks it up in his hotel room in London, he notices that the doors of his room are open, goes and checks the mobile. There was no one outside, but whoever was in the effect had come to his room. They kidnap all people. When he came to his senses, he found himself in New York and I in front of the case, and I welcome him and ask him about Frank, not about his older brother, and I tell that Frankie has stolen my very precious thing, but at this time there was no news about in Stone go Frankie. Trusting his words, and I leave him, but give my men the task of keeping a close watch on him, for he knew that Hamilton would pass by Frank. Apart from Winston and Cormac, someone was also looking for Franklin, and it was a lady police DG Frankie to keep an eye on some weapon dealers, because Franklin had already worked the arrangements. These weapon dealers are sister brothers, and Limi is their friend. He was the only American in Chinatown, so the Chinese of Chinatown used to harass him every day. Let's look again after Paris, which has passed the 40s. Chinese is a Leoncel gangster, as well as Frank and Winston's childhood friend. He asks Winston, "What are you doing here? Didn't you go to London?" In response, he says, "Oh yes man, he was gone, but Frank has messed them up again. He has stolen another precious thing from another man, and in return he took me in his hand and brought me here, and what is Frankie himself?" Charlie's man didn't know where Frankie was. But here Winston wants Frankie sends people to get Hope and asks Winston, "What will you do with his address?" Winston looked at him and said, "Francois is my brother, his life is in danger. Cormac is after the one who picked me up from London. He will also reach him, and I will find and save my brother before him. You give me a car, just a car that cost him more than life, but the one in front was also Winston. Even if he wanted to, he definitely warned so much there, whether he dies, do not let him get angry over it." Winston takes the car and now comes to a karate club in Chinatown, told by T. Lee's men. According to the information, it was seen here with great importance. In appearance, this critical weapon dealer is actually where he first gets the loo after saying something here and there. As soon as he comes to the point and immediately questions him about Frankie, then we do not listen. She got angry as if Frankie had stolen her too. Suddenly Winston feels something unimportant at the sound of a bullet here. He asks people to go inside with gunpoint. He felt that Frank's inside was in danger, but the atmosphere inside was completely different from his thinking. Here the weapon dealer Miles was doing his work in a very relaxed manner. When Winston asks him about Frank, he replies, "What are you?" "Are we looking for Frankie ourselves? We suffered a lot because of that. We were going to deal with him with a dangerous gang on his trust, but he did not come deceiving us at the end time. Those dangerous gangs took away all the papers from us, and we suffered a huge loss." Looking at the instant, Miles tells him that even if you try to win, will no one find him. Remember, Frankie is the guy no one can find unless he wants to. Instantly thinking about something, Miles asks for a gun. Miles also gives him a gun. After taking the gun, he left from here, after which the scene was now cut. We are being shown a new character. This masked lady is also looking for Sankey. At this time, for his stolen box, he was holding Frankie's partner in the theft, who had survived Frankie's attack that day. The cool lady was torturing him and asking about that box, but did not know if he would throw it to anyone in the city. Winston was also looking for Frankie in every street of town. Then he suddenly remembered something from the movie poster on the wall. He turns his car fast and goes to an old cinema where he sees Fun sitting alone. He was watching a movie, and on going there, he came to know that it is a statue which was exactly like Frank from behind. Suddenly a rope noose falls around his neck and pulls him upwards. Now his cleverly kept pain in hands between the road had to save his life. The girl had a yen from the other pull of the rope, and she had set this trap. Frank had seen all this from above. To save him, these traps were installed or not. Before she kills Winston, Frank comes down somewhere and asks him, "What are you doing here?" "To reach you. The Cormac got me tapped from London. I know he will reach you soon. I'm here to help you because I also know that Frankie, you have no plan." He takes it up and shows the box he stole from Cormac. There was no money inside it, but a coin press. Asks, "Why did you steal the car in the fields?" "Oh, it's not in another one. It's the one Carmi works for." By giving this answer, Frankie wanted to prove that he would be like his father, and I was not giving himself. At this time, Win says to Stone, "Thank you, please leave all these cheap battles with me. I have a lot of money, I will fulfill your every wish." During these conversations, the men in the house who were keeping an eye on Winston's car also arrive. And before they find them, they attack the policies. These people quietly leave those coins from here. On the way, Winston was very angry because he felt that all this trouble had come because of him. These people were now going to Charlie because they knew that no one was going to help them except Charlie. As soon as you reach Silver, Silver has to handle your car before meeting them. Later welcomes them. On the other hand, when Karma comes to know that in this too, the T Savings ran away from his men, now he angrily orders his sector to wear door sharpshooters. Here both Winston and Frankly were arguing. Ranking didn't want his brother to come in the afternoon. Achieve this poor world where there is only crime like crime. It comes to know about their location where they were kept. A man from Choti tells the news to the personnel. The personnel tells him not to let them escape from here under any circumstances. I had already sat down. They were just waiting for Yan, and he comes in front of the car and tries to stop them, but at the right time comes here and kills this man. Carmi's men had also arrived here, and before Frankie and Winston could get their hands, these people ran from here towards a building. These people were climbing on the roof of the building because a helicopter was going to pick them up from here, which was arranged. The people of Carmi inside the cat also call them Chase, and here a fight is shown in the middle of them. Frankly does not let anyone win with his strength, and there are also firings here. But as soon as they escape, these people finally reach the helicopter. But Morning knew that the news of his arrival was already there, and he had called sharpshooters to kill him on this other building. Sharpshooters attack their helicopter. One bullet goes out and the other hits the pilot. The injured pilot flies the helicopter to save the lives of these people. Finally, these people were now free. These people could go anywhere, but in the helicopter, Frankly tells these two that no, it is not over. Will find me from anywhere in the world. Like he found it in London, and I have to finish it all. As soon as he says this, he takes the box and jumps from the helicopter. The jump was on the same building from where his helicopter supplied, and the sharpshooter standing far away gives him a shoot somewhere without wasting any time here. Winston was watching all this from the helicopter. He was now grieving the death of his brother, and there was a fire inside him. It is shown here that one found the box he was behind, but inside the box he finds a statue instead of the Queen Press, and seeing this he was badly angry. Winston didn't leave town, either. He had now come to the dealer and he tells them that I won the papers. A lot of weapon miles keeps them. This is their treatment that starts when Kate completes the last path of the Winstone ranking. It is here that the owner asks Queen Stone that the box I found was empty. Is this true? And if this is true, then he will definitely come after us. Winston gets all this and says to kill me, but our Joe thinks that he is not a common man whom we will be silent by killing. Then Winston explains to him in response. Look, they think that we have that proposal, so they will come to kill us. It is better that we attack and kill them first. Then everything he has will be ours. We will take away the hotel and run it all together. He tells them all that I know every move of the Cormy because since childhood he has raised us. Here Lady Previous also gives news to Teddy that Frank was killed, so that when he comes to the dead house to check, he does not get Frank's class there because he had burned Winstone. She then takes Winstone's address from the people here. When on the other side we are shown the masked lady who has come to meet Cormax, she was threatening Cormit. If you can't find that coin in 3 days, then there will be someone else on the table in your place. On the other hand, Winstone and the weapon dealer did not meet, and all of them were engaged in their training because they wanted the army in the car to be bigger. Here Winstone tells these people about a killer who previously worked in the Continental Hotel, but now he had retired. I wanted to add him to my team because he was a very good sniper. After listening to Winstone, this man was not agreeing to go with him because the Cormac was not an important thing. But here Winstone uses the magic of his words to finally convince him to join him. After that, Winstone goes to meet a woman who was going to kill many people as soon as he went to Paris, but the Mahir stops. This woman knew Winstone's name. She asks him, what have you come here to take? It says I have a lot of money, ask for as much as you want. But right now I need your army. In response, the woman says that I also have a lot of money, but I do not ask for money, but for the help of people. Tell me what your story is. And Hein Islami touches this woman's heart, and in this way she is ready to help him. She is ready to give her army, which the army will support in the mission to kill her. By this time the men had also arrived here, chasing Winston, but in less than 3 seconds, this lady kills them all in the array. He then goes to Winstone, who was his best friend who also helped him by the sisters. But after coming here, he sees that the people of Cormid had made a bad situation here, and what was left here was only Charlie's company. Whoever he mixes with him. A scene of knowledge is shown. She now comes to the house above her cinema where she used to live with Frankly, and here she encounters 3 men of Cormid, with whom she mercilessly kills and then says Isla. The marriage of Cormax F. Frank's death is obvious. The work was not easy, so she also decides to help Manstone, and comes to him with a map of the Hotel Continental, which Frankie had made, and obviously, they were going to need it in their planning. Looking at this map, the sniper says to Winstone, is Hotel Continental very complex? We will not be able to do all our work due to this map. We have to include a person inside the hotel in our plan. At the moment, it is shown that these people go to the buildings opposite the Hotel Continental case. To be a point from where this Hotel Continental case can target all rooms, Winstones and snipers are talking here. Do we have to kill me after the attack in any case, and in such a time that he will not get a chance to press the button in his room? If he presses that button, then he has kept all the killers in the entire hotel for his security. All of them will become active. There's a kind of alarm for them, and then everyone will run to obey you, and you will all die. Says don't worry, God, I will die now. Here Winstone gets news that who is leaving his personal factory and going to his village there, because he was a man inside the hotel, and he needed such a person to fulfill his plan. Then he evacuates the entire bus going to the village of Korma sector. The factory man is frightened by this act of Stone, whose condition says Mainstone. Do not be afraid, just came to talk, explains to him that look you have met with the callback, you are committing a lot of crimes, you have no work in this world of crimes, you have only 2 ways here, so you leave all this and go to your village or join us. I know it can be hard for you, but I promise I'll save you. After hearing all the things, he was able to get off the bus, and he goes to this Hotel Continental on foot. On the way, all of Winston's talk was going through his mind. On coming to Cormid, he sees that Cormid has killed the musician who decided to leave the job at the behest of this sector, and when the sector of I asks about this girl, Cormid tells that he was talking about leaving. You know I'm fed up with people leaving. He was going to leave himself, and he gets scared of these things. He is best loyal to Carvey and tells Cormy. They're building an entire army to kill. He asked me to join too. The army cuts him off and says, then what did you answer? This factory tells me that I refuse to join them. I chose you, and the Cormac kisses her forehead when he hears this. In the next scene, we see that Winston is all in the same place, and he will try unsuccessfully to fight. She is training strangely. With this kind of training, he cannot win with Cormax. Seeing all these conditions, Winston tells them all that whoever wants to retreat now should move away, but my mission is to kill Cormac, and then take away his hotel. But here everyone decides to join the Mainstone. We see that the lady police have also reached their base. Let's ask. When she asks about Bluestone, Lou lies clearly. Winston, I have never heard such a name. Katie says, do not say exemption. I know what you know and what not. Keep this card of mine. If you intend to tell something, then tell me. On the other hand, the old man who was supporting Winston, he goes to the house of a woman who was right in front of the Hotel Continental. From the window of this house, hotels, Continental cases, all rooms were coming in target. He is convinced that he will be able to complete his work here. It was the best place for them to complete their mission. The scene is cut and shown that and the sector's sharpshooter of me has come to the same bus with sister brothers. He talked to Winston by hacking the bus. He asks the special, "Tell me, where did you land, Winston?" This driver keeps saying that I dropped him on the roadside. I don't know his whereabouts, and on hearing this answer, the sharpshooters kill him mercilessly. Actually, these people are trying to find and kill Winston, that too at the behest of Corby. Winston was in a lot of trouble as the days of completing his plan were approaching. On the other hand, due to the name of which coin press was sitting on the other side, the upper table wanted to free him from this hotel, but he did not tolerate it at all. At this time, Winston had taken a room in the Hotel Continental. The sharpshooter comes here and asks the receptionist for his room number at gunpoint. It is shown that he was going out of the hotel when KKD also came here to find him. KDD was seeing him for the first time, so he did not recognize it, but by trick, it seemed to him to be Winston. Merrick also went to mention his name. With his action, KD was confirmed that he was Winston, so she took him at gunpoint. Winston, who was trying to understand the whole situation, the sharpshooters sold from behind, also start firing here. KD turns back and kills the sharpshooter first, and a bullet from that shot. Shooter touches the face between the D of the K, while K grabs the sharper shooter's sister and takes him to the Cormac. Here comes the lady police, KD's company. That is, another policeman, and senses him. When she searches our sharpshooter here, she finds a gold coin from his pocket. The policeman tells KD to leave it like this. This is the ID of the killer present in the Hotel Continental, and keeps your D-squine with him. On the other hand, it is shown that Lou comes to his colleagues and tells everyone. And I have taken hold of that and taken it to him. Now the time has come for which we were preparing. At the time of this war, D wants Hotel Continental again, and shows the killer's ID, and takes a room here for herself, was in front of him, holding his hair and asking him, "Tell me, where is that press?" Says, "I don't know, they are hiding the press for Prime, and they are the ones who are harassing you even after death." Cormac was angry after hearing his words. He orders his men to knock Winston down from the building here. At the same time, we see Winston's sniper companion in the opposite building, who shoots and kills the man who dropped Winston from the building. Before he shoots the Cormac turns downwards while lying down, and quickly moves towards his table, and tries to sink the red button. Which meant that he is in danger and all killers will be alert. But pressing the red button doesn't do anything here. His gun was also not under the table, which was now in his sector hand. Seeing this, he gets angry and tells him that you cheated on me. Who goes out of where and closes the door here. He was getting mad at her now and was babbling as he walked. "See what I will do to you. I will give you such a bad death that you will regret your birth." Meanwhile, we see Mild and all of him enter the hotel together. When Kay takes the receptionist here to gunpoint and first asks about the sharpshooter, who was Frankie's murderer who shot him, Lemmy Jinning Miles comes inside the hotel from the middle of the border, and kills 2 killers here as soon as he arrives. That is, a small Chinese left on his weapon area comes to him and tells him that you go out of here, because our master is coming here to kill you. What I knew was that he had never listened to the Chinese in the Chinese town, and a few days ago too, due to some small fight with China, he had thrown the cigarette counter given by the Chinese out of his shop. If she is not leaving from here, then the Chinese group comes in front of her. One of these men tells Lou that I have a sign of your dad, keep it and quietly move this place and leave from here. If you show up here later, you'll be killed. As soon as he says this, all his men go and break everything. The scene is cut and shown to Winston, which is still locked in the room. Because he was injured, he gave him an injection. Suddenly, red alarms start ringing in the building, which meant that the Cormac place had alerted all the killers. With the help of another red button that was still in the corridor, it goes into ventilation to avoid the intel. Through a pipe in each of the killers' rooms, they get pictures of Winston and Sector. It is believed to be these 2 KD who was roaming the killer inside this hotel. 2 killers find out that these 2 are the same police. Before they harm them, both of these stomachs go to the hands of an Eddie. There he had killed 2 kilos. He also gets orders to kill. Saving himself, he reaches the same room from where Gillers was being guided control. There was more shop than the girls sitting here. She was about to kill us, but with great difficulty he gets rid of her and kills her with his knife. The vehicle hidden in ventilation was still looking for the sharpshooter, because he just had to avenge Frank Key. It is shown here that Winston and Sectors also reach the army room, freeing themselves from that room. Before they can open this safe and I get here with a lot of my killers. As soon as the government gives an order to shoot here, Winston also points to someone, and it is shown that Colors points guns at each other. Wellstone now gestures to Cormac to open the safe, but breaks the key by inserting the key into the ditcher. The lights here suddenly turn off without an open one. There is a sound of gunfire, and as soon as the light is on, it is shown that all the killers killed each other. Here Luzhou was sitting with that Chinese child. After getting the sign of his dad, this base was nothing for him. She destroys this place for herself and her brother's whole world through a one-wall bomb with her own hands. The scenes shift back to Cormac and Vanstone, where Corby quickly leaves the vaulted room and goes to the elevator for the 13th floor, and Sector also follows him and comes here and kills the lift man, and asks him to tell what Cormac is on which floor. 13 floors. During these conversations, KD comes here and takes the Pine Stone Cope. She tells Sector to run away from here, and tells Finstone the reason for chasing her. She tells that years ago, on the night you threw a bomb in the building, that night my entire family died in that accident. I want to avenge them on you. As soon as she says this, she takes out a bottle of petrol and sprinkles it on it, and says, why don't you realize the pain that my family asked for that night, and says that I did not know that there were people in that building that day, but her words were not going to come. She wasn't going to accept his apology at all. Before she could kill Winston here, Winston stood in another building. Also, it fires a bullet from there on the Nestle, which hits a KD. Didn't want KD dead. That is why he gestures and asks the cyber not to fire, after which he comes to the prisoner, by making him sit down. He tells him that you are not worried, I will definitely come back to save you. Here Cormac had reached his control room. Wherever he went, he announces in the mic that whoever brings the killer to me, he will give him $1 million, or he had not heard in it. Winston gets upset. After that, Sector tells him not to worry, I will help you because behind this is not risen you or any of my Cormac State revenge, but your brother. It was like my older brothers. He used to treat me like an elder brother, and often thought that you should get out of this world. He had also given me many weapons. To defend himself, he tears a poster behind which many weapons come out of the cloth. He also gives some of these weapons to Winston. When it is shown outside that in the greed of $2 million, the killers started fighting among themselves. Here too, those people initiate him she was eagerly waiting for. In time, she comes down from the ventilation and takes both of them to the down point. Before she hits them, the Milo goes from behind. As soon as he is distracted, these cursed shooters dodge him and take his dirty with his own hand. They attack Science. It is shown above that Kalami was also in the control room. This control room was the one from where the pictures of the people who killed the killers also went, and he sends a bomb to all the killers through these pipes. The sharpshooter whom this Hanuman wanted, cleverly sends the bomb sent to him back to the control room, after which Lang dies here. Down below, Miles starts fighting this sharpshooter. This sharpshooter was very country and was not going to beat Mild in the fight that Liu was here to help him, but he also controls Liu. Before he killed them both. The Chinese boy whom Liu had brought with her, she gives him his father's gun from above, using which Liu kills the sharpshooter. Now Winsron goes to the room where Limi died. He sees that Limi's neck doesn't throw bombs all over the ducks. This work starts doing a lot, and due to the bombs, a lot of killers are killed, and seeing this, the personnel gets upset because he felt that now it is difficult to play him too. Meanwhile, Justice was fighting another sharpshooter on the roof. She had killed her brother, but she was no less than her brother. But that is, Joe, who was also running the Eye of Revenge for Frankie's death. He kills him here in his passion and his madness, and I who was worried about my death, then he is getting a call from the masked lady, who was asking him, did you get the coin press? If not, just get ready to leave the hotel. Who angrily replies and says no one can take this hotel away from me. He comes back to the control room and turns on the ultra security mode of this hotel, while scanning each of his scanners. Due to which iron lions started going in front of all the windows and doors of the hotel. This means that the one who was inside the hotel now will remain inside the hotel, and the one who is outside will never be able to come inside. Along with this, a bomb is also activated here, which will explode inside within 10 minutes, which will destroy this hotel. Vincent and Core Mecha Sector had also come to this control room looking for him, and seeing the bomb activated here, they know that the building is going to be destroyed in a good time, and all these people will be killed along with the building. These people look around at the Calmac, who was not in the room. A look at the CCTV shows that he has reached the railway line below the hotel where he had ordered his personal train, and was soon to flee from here. Without time, Winston also goes after him. He wanted to kill her at all costs. The two were now fighting among themselves. It is shown that KD comes from behind and shoots me and Cormac dies from this attack. After his death, his personal train had also arrived here, so now he could save his life by sitting in it, but does not do so. He was loyal to his teammates. To save the lives of his colleagues, he comes to an idea. He cuts the hand of the corn man here and takes it to the control room. His hand scans, deactivates a bomb and eliminates the hotel's ultra security. These guys had won. Finally no one was convinced. Says everyone was gathered here. If you want to go, you can go from here. In response, he says no, without me you will be bored here. Everyone says the celebration of their victory here. Now according to their plan, these hotels were going to run all these people together, but to spoil their happiness, masks are taken here, which says to Vince Stone, this hotel does not become yours by giving Cormac, whose hotel will it be? That's it, the table will dissolve and if you want, I'm there for you, I can talk to the table. Winston was a little kid and knew that this lady herself wanted to own this hotel. He tells the lady that no it is not needed, I will talk to the table myself. For the time being, you worry about yourself. The masked lady tells her that you can't talk to the table, I can just talk to her. On hearing this, Winston shoots him and says that now I can also talk to him. Now the twist inside the story comes that all this fight started behind Zai's press. The press was actually with Winston. Winston already wanted this hotel and he knew that if he wanted this hotel, he would have to give this coin to Press High Table. He also knew that there could be a fight to take this hotel at any time. That is why he made many coins here using this coin press, which was the idea of the killers of this hotel. He gave these coins to the people of the army who had already come and lived inside the Continental Hotel. These were the same naturals who killed Cormac inside the hotel room. It was the sign men who actually supported Winston in winning this battle, after which it finally became the hotel, showing that this story ends here. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.